I think it goes without saying that I am a Godzilla fan if the channel and the company I keep is anything to go by. But I don't think I've ever talked about necessarily why it's important to me specifically. And I think doing a video on Godzilla's birthday, as it were, would be a perfect time to discuss that. And I think the first thing I want to discuss is the fact that Godzilla is a persistent character archetype, as it were. I think in many ways the character is best when he is an antagonistic force, or at least a less than benevolent force towards humanity. In his first appearance, he embodies so much of the Chaos Serpent archetype that we see throughout much of mythology. It's actually something I plan to discuss in greater detail in another video, but I believe that Godzilla, representing the horrors of nuclear war and just being a destructive entity that can embody many different things and many different looming fears. Even just looking at the return of Godzilla in '84 versus what Godzilla meant in 1954, we just see how such a similar idea, but two different looming fears relating to a similar topic, are able to just in a very masterful way be portrayed. And it really captures the Japanese zeitgeist in so many ways. I think anyone, even if you don't necessarily think the quality of the films is always the best, I think you can look to each and every film and just see a time capsule of the eras they're from, whether it's the late 70s or the early 90s or the millennium era. I think that there is just something important that can be drawn from all of the films. Yes, even good old Godzilla 98, as I am wanting to not include sometimes, but I do think there's so many ups and downs, lows and highs, valleys, peaks, etc., that this franchise has gone through. But I think in many ways, like I said, Godzilla's important to me because as a monster, as a character, he embodies the archetype of just the Chaos Serpent in general, because that fear, whether it is related to nuclear power or not, seems to always be able to be embodied by Godzilla. And I don't think necessarily that any fear can be embodied by Godzilla. I think that, like any character, a character can mean many things, but that does not mean a character can mean anything, even with the best writers available. And I just think that that's important to remember. And as much as we may bicker, have our dramas and the like, that we can, on days like this, remember why we love this franchise and the things we love it for. And seeing as it just recently announced that a new Japanese Godzilla film is on the horizon, that will take up much of our time and speculation. And along with another MonsterVerse film, we may wonder, is this going to be a new trend? Will we see in a MonsterVerse film, a Toho film, essentially every single year or every other year, but both kind of appearing around the same time? And although the Godzilla day is long from over at the time of me recording this, there is so much improvement I've seen from the last one with what they're willing to do. And I think that the more they listen to the fans and sort of keep their ear to the ground in that sense, that we'll continue to see better and better products. I think there's already a good buzz about this new product here with another new Japanese Godzilla film, and I'm just excited for what's to come. Of course, we do know that Gigabash also announced that and showed off Godzilla being in their game and just kind of going to places. Fry's is a good example of this. So one of them opened up again in my local area, and just walking in and seeing a whole lot of Godzilla stuff, it makes me happy to see it's just kind of in that public space that I don't think a lot of people would imagine it could be. And just kind of seeing Godzilla on silly things in a way, food, outside of clothes, towels, cups and the like, it always just warms my heart. And I just always think to myself, what can be done to just make better stories and just have products that we can share and enjoy ourselves with, and just connect as a community in a lot of ways, hopefully for the better. But I think that's enough rambling. I think everyone, whether you're a fan or not, get into Godzilla now. It's the proper day to, and if you are a fan, do something fun to celebrate the King of the Monsters. Take care, all.